There's so many that get away, and typically the ones that get away you want to forget about as soon as possible because you can't dwell on that stuff. When I was 6 or 7 years old, I started going to like rummage sales with my mother. I would find a Miller Wildlife beer mirror, and it'd be like for like $5-10, and I thought that's kind of cool with the bear on it and everything, and it was all flashy with the gold trim on it and stuff. So my mom would purchase it for me, and I would hang it in my bedroom. And then before I know it, I'd go into another rummage stand. I found the wolf one and the pheasant one, and within a few years, my bedroom was full of beer mirrors, and I guess it started off of that. And as I became an adult, I was busy with putting together my life. I knew I wanted to build a house someday, and I know this house had to have a bar. So that was like the number one thing I focused on was like, I got to have a really nice bar in my house. So I thought I'm gonna start hunting for things now. One day, I don't know for what reason, I was on eBay and I bought a Blatz statue. It's the can guy. And I never saw that before. And I purchased that, I think it was like $45, it was cheap. And when it came to my house, I opened it up and I was shocked at how big it was. I didn't think it was that large, which I thought it was smaller. And how unique it was. I never saw anything like that before. And then seeing that, I thought, is there anything else like this out there? Is there any other like Blatz statues out there? And I'm going on eBay, like there's quite a few. So then I started purchasing them here and there. And then about a year or two later, I found George Bailey's Back Bar book. And finding that book was like opened my eyes. Like there's like 600-700 different statues. And yeah, it just kind of rolled from there. Most of these statues, they were behind a bar at one point. And what kind of life did that statue lead? Like how long, what's the story of that thing? And a lot of these statues, based on their condition, they'll tell you the story that they lived. Like if they're all smoky, if they're all damaged, a smoky statue has been in a bar for a long time. It's got its working clothes on. It did a lot of advertising for the beer company, where you could find a statue that's 80, 90 years old and it looks mint condition. That statue wasn't in a bar very long. Who knows, how it survived. It was stashed away somewhere. So the stories, imagine the stories on the statue and where they came from and where they've been. It's all kind of interesting to me. Any mentors I've had in the hobby, number one person, probably Tom Kern. I met Tom near Oshkosh, and I bought it we stopped at a wayside, and he had it popped open in his van. He had some Breweriana in his van. I think I bought like 3 or 4 pieces of Breweriana from Tom. First time I ever met him, he asked, do I belong to any of the Breweriana clubs? And I'm like, I don't belong to any group, no. And he goes, give me your name and your address, and I'm gonna send you something. So I did. And maybe like a week later, he sends me a NABA magazine and a sign-up sheet. And he goes, I think you should sign up with NABA. I think that would really benefit your collecting. So he was like probably the first person to introduce me to the clubs. And because of that, I'm very grateful. And Tom's a great guy. For me, NABA's done a ton. So one of the things about NABA is networking with other collectors. To try to find something rare, the first part is knowing who has one. Also having the knowledge of people collecting that well beyond your years of collecting. The NABA magazine is a fantastic magazine where it shows so many different pieces of Breweriana, the history of it, the values of them, what current values, what they're going for. There's a wealth of information. If you collect Breweriana, you have to be a NABA member. So like the ones that I regret not getting, I let them roll off my shoulder. Like, there's other statues out there, and on that particular one, I'll probably have another shot at it again at another point in time. In my younger years of collecting, like sometimes I took a card losing something, like, oh, that was a rare piece, I missed out on it. Maybe I always thought, that was my only shot at maybe getting it. But as I'm getting older in my collection, I know things turn up more often than not. And you just gotta be patient. To any new collectors that are out there, like my number one advice to them is being patient. Because if you're patient, you'll find your piece that you want. You just gotta wait. If you rush into it, you'll end up paying too much, or maybe not buying the right one that you want condition-wise. Just be patient and keep searching, and things turn up. So that would be my best advice to anybody getting into it.